Greetings, everyone. I'm your host, Bobcat, here in the Art Mind Studios. And I'm at a point in the renovations where, as you can see, I'm starting to hang art. I've waited 2 years for this. 2 very long, very frustrating years. Not just because dealing with contractors, but just not being able to show my work. My art has been in storage all this time, and some of it got damaged. It wasn't in what I would call ideal conditions, my attic. So some of it's gonna have to be repaired, restored, touch-ups here and there. Nothing was lost, but you know, it's not what I wanted. But today's an exciting day because I'm hanging art, and I decided that instead of the more common method of driving little nails in the wall and putting it up there, I wanted a more, frankly, I wanted a professional gallery system. This is a professional gallery. I'm a professional artist. I deserve to work with professional tools to achieve professional results. And I will use the word professional probably several more times. So in a previous career, I was the technical director and basically facilities manager for a gallery in DC. One thing that I saw them use that really kind of changed my approach to displaying art was the picture rail system. Now this is not a new system. Older houses, Victorian, late 1800s, early 1900s, I'm sure even before that, used what's called a picture rail system. So walls were super thick, and it was a huge pain in the butt to drive a nail into it to hang a piece of art. And then what if you're like, oh, I want to put it here, but actually it should be over here, just a little bit away. You got to knock a whole nother hole in the wall. So the picture rail system solved this problem. And what it is, just a little channel. These can be wood or metal. Systematic Art one is metal, but it's a little channel that you put up at the top of your wall, and then you have a hook on a line that hooks onto that. Oh, get on there. That hooks onto that channel, and you can move it back and forth. And then on this line are the actual hooks themselves that you slide in, and I hope you can see this because I'm not doing this twice. You slide in, adjust to the height you want, and you can raise it up and you can lower it down, but it can still remain fixed where you want it. And then you take your wire on the back and hang it, and there you go. Obviously you need to straighten it up and all that jazz. But if I just drove a nail into the wall to stick this here, but I actually wanted it up here, I'd have to drive a whole new nail, fix this hole, maybe even paint it. Hopefully there was no additional damage. With a picture rail system, you move it horizontally, then you take your little hook and you raise it up, and now it's where you want it. And this space back here, clean, safe, and dry, no issues, and you can do it immediately. And you can change your whole gallery literally overnight just by unhooking, repositioning stuff. And another nice thing with the picture rail and the wire system, just for space. So you've got that there. But if you wanted to hang something below it, all you need to do, get another hook. And won't make any difference to this one. Slide your second hook. I'm sure this is really graceful, but slide your second hook and then your second piece of art. And now, not only do you have multiple art hanging vertically, you've got them aligned, which is, according to our human eyes, generally aesthetically pleasing. But that's it. That's the picture rail system. And I've got that wrapped all the way around the display area of my gallery space, my studio space. In Systematic Art, it's a 3-part system. You've got the rail itself. They have unfinished and finished. I got this one painted white from them because it matches the white walls. They've got a whole variety of cable and hooks, different configurations, different types of hooks, types of cable, coated, uncoated, stainless steel. I think they even have painted. These hooks come in different configurations for like really heavy stuff. If you want to hang, big sculptural pieces, or like those crazy gilded frames for giant paintings of Napoleon. And those frames can weigh a whole lot. You can put a whole lot of weight on this. So if you want to hang a bunch of paintings in a row, you absolutely can. If you want to hang oddly shaped stuff at different heights but connected together, that's fine. Hang another line, multiple hooks, and then you can suspend and adjust whatever you want. That's why I like this picture rail system, because it's so flexible, where you're not literally just nailing something to a wall like a butterfly in a specimen case. Some of the drawbacks to this, things you really should consider as you're planning this system for your gallery, for your display space, for your living room. These used to be in people's houses all the time. When people collected art, people actively collected and displayed art, which is something I genuinely encourage, but that is a whole other thing for a different video. Things to keep in mind when planning your display system for your personal gallery art space. Figure out how much picture rail you need. By that's part one. Part two, the systematic art system, is these lines. And again, they're different lengths, coatings, and whatnot. I recommend that you get enough line to go from the very highest point to the very lowest point. My space is really tall, so I got 8 foot, 96 inches, 8 foot stainless steel line. And the end is nice and waxed or welded together. I don't know, but it's not gonna fray. So that means, especially on these tall spaces over here, I can hang stuff from the ceiling almost to the floor. Multiple things, whatever. But on a single painting, I've got all this extra line. So one thing you have to remember is when you're got it to what you want, you are going to have to coil up your wire. Don't coil it too tight because you can kink it, but you can coil it up and tuck it behind the art. And there it goes. I'm being rough with it so it's all skewed, but a little zip tie to keep it bundled together, maybe a little piece of tape or something. I recommend a zip tie because tape can leave adhesives that can cause issues later. But a little zip tie keeps that right on there, no problem. Part three, the hooks. I forget which kind of hook this is. It says this is the self-gripping picture hook. This is the basic one because I don't really need anything fancy. They've got versions that are heavy duty. They've got ones with flat, like almost panel or angle bracket bottoms. They've got ones with security clips if you are in a environment where your pictures could walk for whatever reason. They have ones with little security clips that make it much harder to just take this off. So figure out which system works best for you. And you'll need to buy and order as many of these as you'll need for your display. So what I did, I bought a bunch, I think I bought 24 wires and 24 or 25 hooks. Am I going to use them all at once? Maybe, maybe not. I might run out. But I wanted to start with a pile of them so I had plenty of options to move around and check my stuff out. Allows you to give a more professional presentation of your work. It allows you to be more intentional, saying I'm going to put these things here, and then next month rearrange them, take stuff out, put stuff on, and you don't have to patch your wall, you don't have to paint anything, you're not driving holes in your wall. God forbid you drive a nail for a picture and there's a wire or a pipe behind it and you cause all kinds of problems. This skips that. Quick interjection, something I did forget to mention in the cons, things you must do with this gallery picture rail system is you really need to step up your practice of putting actual hanging hardware on the back of your paintings. If you're like me, I'm lazy, especially for lightweight stuff. I just balance it on a frame or on a nail in the back of the canvas frame, and that works fine for me. It's not going anywhere. Can't really do that with these hooks. Even if you have, one of these little nail sawtooth comb things that will sit on a nail, especially if you have a cross brace and you gotta put it there. Nail, you can hang it nice and balanced like that. This hook doesn't really sit in that very well. And also, you'll have it sticking out the top of your canvas, or the top of your artwork, looking from the front. And aesthetically, I don't really like that. I like that the wire just disappears behind it. So what you gotta do, get some D-rings and some basic wire. Your local hardware store, your local hardware store has this stuff. It is not expensive at all. And having hang-ready art can up the value of your work even more than just something that needs to go through the process of getting it framed and getting all of this stuff done. If you can just take a couple of seconds to get that last little bit on, it will really push up the value of your art and the saleability of your art. But yeah, so got to get mounting hardware to use for these hooks. But don't be lazy. Don't be like me. Time it. And the other drawback is it's an investment. I'm not going to say it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. And I invested in this gallery system. And I don't know what the gallery system where I used to work, I don't know what they used. I really like the results of this one. They had great reviews. So I invested in this, and frankly, I'm pleased at how easily it's all coming together. So this was a long, kind of rambly video. I hope future me has invested in some effort into cutting in some interesting shots, some close-ups of the components and rearranging the space and all of that. And if not, shame on you, being me. So, I hope you are safe and well fed wherever you are. I wish you mucho amor. And yeah, check it out. Systematic Art, professional gallery picture rail system. Cheers.